Guys, welcome to this week's 2 Minute Tuesday. I'm George and I'm going to be answering one of the questions I get asked most as a developer, and that's which programming language should I learn and how do I go about learning it? So it really depends on what your aim is once you've learned your programming language. If you're looking at kind of going into the creative industries, so kind of building websites, building applications, the two best languages I'd say are JavaScript and Python. JavaScript is a really flexible language, it's easy to learn, there's a really large developer community around it, and it's really flexible, so it can be used for pretty much anything. It can be used for back-end development, it can be used for mobile application, it can be used for websites. Python is also really easy to learn, its syntax is really nice and beginner friendly. Again, there's a massive developer community around it, and it's kind of useful for both web development, but also it can be used for things like machine learning if you're interested in that space. So if you're more interested in kind of the analytical and statistical side of programming, maybe you're looking at it for scientific research, the two best languages to look at are R and MATLAB. So both R and MATLAB provide really great tools for quickly modelling your data and giving visual representations of that data. Is there any programming language you should avoid learning? No, all languages are really useful and have their own kind of use case. I would say maybe PHP is probably the language which, if you're looking at learning new languages, maybe avoid slightly, as I think over the next 10 years that's going to slowly fade out of usage due to kind of it being a bit slow and having security issues historically. So how do you go about learning these languages? There's lots of different ways online to learn programming languages. There's kind of YouTube videos, or you can take online courses. The main thing I think to know is that you don't need to pay lots of money. There's so many free resources out there, or cheap resources. Maybe do a cheap subscription model of one of these sites like Treehouse or Code Academy, or maybe take a cheap course from Udemy, but definitely steer clear of any courses which are trying to charge you hundreds or thousands of pounds. You definitely don't need to pay that much money to become a developer.